Funeral services will take place next weekend for former New Mexico Governor Bruce King. The 85-year-old, who was well-known and well-liked, passed away Friday at the age of 85. News 13's Dick Knipfing knew and covered Bruce King for more than 40 years. Tonight, he takes a look at New Mexico's legendary governor.
She said if she'd set me on the horse, well, then she'd go on and do whatever she's doing. The horse was very gentle, and I loved to sit and ride that horse.
When he was a toddler, his busy mother sometimes used a horse to babysit Bruce. The roots were rural, definitely and deeply country. On the King family farm at Stanley, the land, the crops, the livestock demanded endless attention. Years later, when Bruce and his brothers were all prominent ranchers, farmers, and politicians, Sam, the oldest, reflected on a childhood lesson.
Probably the reason we're as successful as we were is we kind of listened to her mother. She never expected too much of anything except that we did things honestly and did it for the benefit of everybody.
Bruce, Sam, and younger brother Don drank coffee and talked politics nearly every morning for decades at El Commodore in Moriarty. School board, legislature, governor. In one way or another, all three of them served in elective office. Bruce got the urge early. Another legendary governor, Clyde Tingley, gave it to him. Tingley talked to the kids in the small school at Stanley one day, and he said something that got young Bruce thinking.
He said, well, I hope I live to see someone of you in the governor's chair sometime before I pass away, so I thought it might well be me or somebody else, you know.
In the early 50s, Santa Fe County Democrats wanted him to run for the county commission. But he and his young wife, Alice, had a growing family, and they wrestled with the endless demands of farming and ranching. She was not for politics, and she made it clear when she spoke her mind as he left for a meeting with party leaders.
Now, you don't let them talk you into running, Cody. We don't need to get in that. Now, all right. So I come home, I was kind of smiling.
And when he came home, I could tell by the look of him, he'd told him yes, he would do it.
He won the commission seat. Then he went to the legislature. And in 1970, he was elected governor. Now, Bruce King was never one for political theory or philosophical debate. He was very much an old-time, bread-and-butter, practical politician.
My goal was very simple, just to try to improve quality of life for every individual. And whether it wasn't any particular difference of what political party or what their background was or their nationality or anything. You know, we're a very diverse state, and my basic interest was to improve the quality of life and the capabilities of earning capacity for every single citizen.
Democrat, Republican, whatever you might be, Bruce King tried to work with you. He liked people, all kinds of people. Alice, who died in 2008, recalled one time what most New Mexicans probably remember about him.
He always had a big smile and was always friendly, and everybody, even today, laughs and says, well, Bruce is always campaigning, but Bruce was always a very, very friendly and outgoing young man.
Bruce King was elected governor 3 times. There was something down home, down to earth about him that people responded to. When he was asked about his legacy, he said he liked what a man from Mora County once told him.
One of the old-time politicos in the audience said to me, he said, and he spoke very broken English, but he said, you know, Bruce, he said, the one thing that you've accomplished that nobody else could ever accomplish was make every single one of us feel like we were important to the well-being of the state of New Mexico and get everybody to work together. Said, I know, said, you don't think anything about it, but said, that's probably the most important thing you did.
That was News 13's Dick Knipfing. Funeral arrangements for Bruce King were announced today. This coming Friday, November 20th, the former governor will lie in state at the Roundhouse in Santa Fe from 9 in the morning until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The funeral service will be held at 10 a.m. the following day, Saturday, November 21st, inside the Moriarty High School gym. Be sure to stay with News 13 for continuing coverage of New Mexico's passing, New Mexico's longest-serving governor.